What's going on, Fast Turn Radio watchers, listeners, replay catchers? Gompers, what's up? Gompers having a little bit of a rough time right now, so little fist bump, a little extra fist bump to him. Hope everything gets straightened out soon and goes well. It's not straightened out. Everything is straightened out. It's just sometimes we get little scares in life, but he's okay. Everything's all right. But just a shout out to him. Goose, I see you got your camera on, man. I don't know if you even know you have your camera on, but you are welcome to turn the mic on if you so choose. Join the conversation or turn your video off. It's all up to you. But thank you guys so much for being here. As I said in the pre-show, we got 20 people, which is normally a smaller crowd. But let me tell you, that's 20 people in the heart of Q4 that have joined us live. And that's awesome because the show is about you and it works a lot better with the audience participation. At the same time, I completely understand that everybody has a million things going on right now. I'm honestly just dead tired. I'm wiped. But somehow, you got to keep going because there's no time like this. There's no other time like this, period. This is our time as resellers where we make our most money of the year. These next 4 weeks are going to be absolutely insane. Some people have seen it already. I've seen huge days, $10,000, $15,000, $30,000 days that people are throwing out there. I've had a couple of $4,000 and $5,000 days myself, which is big for me. And those are just kind of the preludes to what's really coming. They're about to be huge, huge days. So whatever your norm is, it's about to really explode. Part of the reason my numbers, I just talk about my own stuff right now. We'll get to the road to 500K, of course, and all that. But mine are down a little bit right now. And that's not intentional. That I was going to say that's intentional. It's not intentional. I like to make money. But I also refuse to sell at some of the prices that I'm seeing right now. One of them that I will point out specifically is the Advent calendars, okay? Because everybody knows about Advent calendars. Right now they're selling at like 47 for the city calendar and I think 67 for the Star Wars calendar. There's no way I'm selling at those prices. Now, if you use discounts or somehow you got a coupon or discounted gift cards or something, so you drove down your price to where you can sell at those levels and it's still profitable. And I talked to somebody tonight who did exactly that, got a great deal on some calendars. Selling at those prices makes sense. So it does depend on how you buy. But for people like me that bought some of that stuff at full retail price, there's no way I'm going to sell it at, $67 for a $40 calendar. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm not making any money at that point. Make what, about $12, $13? No, not going to happen. So I'm holding prices really high on a lot of stuff. Now that hopefully will pan out pretty well because like one thing I sold tonight for $66, I paid $23, sold for $66. But and I was excited about that at first, and then I looked, and the next guy was at like 79, and then shortly after him was 89 and 99, and there were only like 10 sellers total. So I was like, man, okay. I was happy right until the moment I looked at the listing and said, you just gave away like $30. So yeah, Harvey knows what it is. He said, you got robbed on that. Yeah, I did. I gave it away. I didn't get robbed. I gave it away. It was my own fault. I just wasn't paying attention and it happens. But anyway, so I'm holding prices high. That's that's part of why my sales are down. But that's a choice that I've made. If you choose to be in the buy box right now, your sales are going to fly. Stuff is definitely moving. Yeah. And Harvey sold the same thing at $50. So at least I made a little bit more money than he did on it. But yeah, that another thing I sold today, I paid $22.50 for. It sold at 56, and immediately I went, wait a minute, that is not where this thing should be. And sure enough, I looked, and there was some MF sellers down around that level, but more around 65, 69 looks to be where the FBA is, and above that. So I am so I am holding prices high, but if you bought better than I did and you're in the buy box right now, your sales are freaking flying. And congratulations to everybody who is in that boat. I got to hold out. I did not buy everything very well. The shipping times are taking forever. Oh my God, I shipped stuff on Monday that's been delivered now, but who knows when it'll actually be received. I'm guessing hopefully maybe Monday, possibly Tuesday. I mean, it's just horrible. Um, yeah, yeah, Mindy giving me a hard time. Um, yeah, but actually, okay, let's talk about pie face for a second. So I've had a couple questions about that. I posted about when I bought pie face at $18.88, so I paid $19. And last Wednesday, I was like, forget this. My payout's coming up. I've got almost 100 units were in stock. I think it actually ended up being 78 units in stock. So I said, forget this. I don't like seeing 8 pages or 4 pages or whatever of people at $29.99. I'm done with it. Let me get out of it, reinvest that money in other places, somewhere where it's going to be better used. That's just a decision I made. So I sold actually not at $29.99. I sold at $28.95. Blew through those 78 in a matter of hours. I mean, I think because there is no buy box. So people might have come in under me, but so there were like these big sales gaps. So it was like I was the lowest price person for a while and sold, maybe 50 units. And then I didn't sell any for a few hours, like 3-4 hours. And then I got back into the buy box. There is no buy box, but I got back into being the lowest seller. And I blew through the last 27 or so. And, they were out the door. I was happy with that because I got my payout on Friday. Now, fast forward to Sunday. So I get my payout on Friday. I get my money, which is going to hit the bank on Monday. And I think it was Sunday when all of a sudden everybody started going out of stock. And the price went from 28 to 29 to 30 to 32 to 34. And I said, oh, crud. I missed this thing by like 2 days. I screwed it up. So that happens. But all I did was turn around, took that same money, and went and bought more of it. So not a big deal, So I made a little bit of money the first time around. Now I did do some MF because I ended up finding an end cap of 72 at one store and 33 at another store. So in 2 days, suddenly I had 105 on hand again. I was like, you know what? This stuff's selling really well at 34. I'm going to MF some of them. So I put 40 up. Sure enough, 40 of them blew out the door. And then I realized how much I hate MF. So yet another lesson learned by Pie Face. I said, wow, that was not a good choice. Just because I ended up packing freaking orders forever. One more mishap from that. Okay, so I send out 39 of the 40 order, 38 of the 40 orders. They go out. I have 2 pending. The next day, one gets canceled. Cool. That's great. You didn't want your pie face. That's good. That was on the 22nd. So here we are, the 25th. After that 105 that I sold some of and I sent some in, got another 45 that I sent in tonight or went out today. About an hour after UPS picks the stuff up, that one pending order that I totally forgot about came through. So now I have 0 pie face on hand except one that's in a damaged box, and I have a pending or a sold item, and I got none on hand. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So the bonehead move of the day goes to me in all kinds of ways, but that one was the worst. To actually sell a product that I don't have on hand, I've never done that. And I don't have any in stock yet because CVG has not received them. So I can't use any out of my FBA inventory. So I don't know. I got until Friday to either find one or order one from someone else, or somebody told me that they have one that they could send for me. So I have some options, but it was just a reminder that either I should have canceled that order and then sent it in FBA. You can contact support and actually have them cancel an order for you. So I could have done that. I could have I could have held one back just in case that order came through. It totally slipped my mind. And the fact that it was like an hour after UPS picked it up, I couldn't believe it. And I posted it in one of the group chats, and Todd said, "Yeah, I've got one pending too." And then just it was probably about an hour later, he's like, "And it just sold, and all his just got shipped off too." So he did the same thing I did. So now we're both sitting in the same boat. Yeah, so there's a chance I might order from a third-party seller, but I doubt it. I should be able to work around it some way. But yes, that was my big bonehead mistake. The selling for 30, I don't see that as a mistake. That's a decision to be made. That is, and it's not like I just went ahead and did that. I talked to everybody I know. What are your thoughts on this? And nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. KIB said she's going to PL a crystal ball, and I think that's awesome because I really need one. Mine's defective. But you don't know. You don't know when you're sitting there looking at 400 sellers on an item, how many they really have, what the velocity truly is. And I'm telling you right now, the top, I think it was the number 2 game at the time, or number 2 toy. It's still in the top 10. It's insane. And they are selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds per day. Probably in the thousands, at least 8,000. So I'm buying more. I'll send them in. I got no problem with that. Does that mean I want to compete against 400 people on every listing? No way. Absolutely not. But there are certain ones, and you see, and Edie asked this, so I'll get into this a little bit. Edie asked, what should we be looking for now? Well, now is the time where you should be able to see what's going on. You should see the gaps in the marketplace. You should see Amazon having trouble holding certain products in stock. If the buy box is being suppressed, Amazon can't hold it. If they can't hold it now, they're not going to be able to hold it for the next 4 weeks. So go to the store and buy that. There are brands that were good last year that are good again this year. There are lines that were good again or good last year that are good again this year. There are new lines where, like Pie Face is a fairly new game that we saw Amazon having trouble keeping in stock. Amazon's been out of stock for quite a while on it. The only ones keeping the price suppressed a little bit, or keeping the price down around that $25, $30 mark, was third-party sellers. And they did that until they just couldn't sell anymore, or couldn't get anymore. So we'll probably see a big influx of Pie Face in the next week. Just like I sent in 100 of them, I'm sure a lot of people sent in 100. So there's thousands of units about to hit. Guess what? It's not enough. It's not enough. So, if you're holding your prices, I'm not going to tell you where to price things, but if you're holding them high, there's a good chance you're going to hit it. And if you so choose, you can always lower it. That's what I did. I had mine sitting at like $41. And then I went, you know what? I paid $18. I know a lot of other people are paying $15. Some even paid $10. And that was the big thing. It wasn't what I paid for it, because that money was already gone. And I understand that. No big deal. But what I was looking at is how many of these people are in at $15 and $10 that are selling at 30 and can continue to sell at 30. Now, what I misjudged was how big the demand was. Okay, so I knew there was a lot of supply at the $10 to $15 range. I just didn't know there was that much more demand than there was supply. So, for me, it was just I was up against my payout. That's a big thing. If that same scenario happened now, I sat on it for 10 days going, oh, maybe the price will come up. I said, nope, I need that couple $1,000s out, and I want it now. So anyway, lessons learned. Guys, I consider myself an experienced seller at this point. I still make mistakes. We all do. If anybody tells you they don't make mistakes, just stop listening to them, because they're lying to you. And everybody makes mistakes. I don't care how long they've been selling. And people hit home runs. I see new sellers hitting home runs every day too. So it goes both ways. We all make great decisions. We all make some mistakes. As long as you make more good decisions than bad, you should be okay. But as far as what to sell right now, really, get on Amazon. Look around at what doesn't have the little Prime symbol next to it. Look at what doesn't have a buy box. and then just start following those rabbit trails. I mean, there is so much out there right now. It's ridiculous. So anything from the if you're on a small budget, or I'm buying these too. I'm buying things that are $5 to $7, and I'm making $3 and $4 a piece on them. I'm okay with that. I'm also buying the higher end stuff that's maybe $30 and $40 that sells for $100. So it's, I'm all over the place. But my point is, even if you've only got a couple $100, you can turn that 200 into 400 very, very quickly. Those are out there. The little $5 items that will make you $3 and $4 and sell as many as you can get your hands on. I promise. It's out there. So lots of options, lots of stuff. That's kind of my advice, though, is look at what Amazon is not in stock on right now. They won't be able to keep it in stock. Even if they come back in short term, it is going to be just that, short term. It's not like they're waiting on container loads from China right now. I mean, all that stuff's here. Tomorrow is Black Friday. Or I'm sorry, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Right after that is Black Friday. Then we go into the weekend. Cyber Monday was, I don't know who B2MFNK is, but Black Friday Eve. Yes, tomorrow is Black Friday Eve. Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day with the family. Seriously, we've all worked our butts off. We're all tired. We all know we have a long few weeks ahead of us. Take tomorrow and enjoy it. Seriously. Take a day down, or a down day. Take a day off. Chill out, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you have to take the whole day, because I promise you I'll be doing some packing tomorrow at some point. But enjoy if you celebrate Thanksgiving, which I think most of us do, be thankful for your family. Spend the day with your family. We got plenty of time to work. Hopefully you've been doing lots of work, and it'll all pay off. Now, back to the real stuff. Or at least the reason we talk. Yes, family is the most important thing. Business is what we're here to talk about, though. Black Friday. There are two lines of thought. And it is, Harvey, are you still here? Yeah, there you are. You're chatting on the thing. If you can come on, that would be cool. If not, I'll just kind of speak on your behalf. But there are two lines of thinking when it comes to Black Friday. And I am more in sync with Harvey on this than the other. Okay, two lines of thinking. One, I'm going to go out and destroy Black Friday, right? Sales are everywhere. I'm going to go out there with my army. I'm going to hit it hard. I've got my plan on which stores. Maybe you've got a team of shoppers, all that kind of stuff, and you're going to crush it. You can absolutely do that. The other way to go, which is what I prefer, is kind of the let everybody go do that kind of stuff. Let them have their time. Mindy, it looks like you got some gift cards racked up. You can go out there and destroy it. That's cool. My thinking is I'm going to let people go nuts. That's their thing. All right. Have at it. Yeah, Chris Green in the house. What's up, man? Go nuts on Black Friday. That's cool. I'm going to be at home. Fighting the crowds. Okay. I do this job because I hated the job I had before. I do this job because I love it. There are some things about this job that I don't like. Getting up at 2 a.m., or not about this job. There are some things that there are some options you have in this job, I'll say that I don't like. Getting up at 2 a.m. to go kill Black Friday is one of those options that you have that I absolutely hate. It does not appeal to me whatsoever to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not going to do it. It's that simple. I have no desire to go fight crowds, to stand in lines, to do all this Black Friday planning. I don't even know what's on sale for Black Friday. I have not looked at a Black Friday ad. I don't care. It just does not appeal to me. I'm not playing that game. What I will do is watch my prices, and this is where Harvey and I totally agree. I want to watch my prices like a hawk. Yes, I have a repricer. I will tell you right now, I don't care if it says it's continuous updating. It's not. No repricer out there is continuous updating. And at this point, you need continuous updating. You need to see when I sold 1 of 10 at a price that I'm not happy at, I need to make sure those other 9 are updated now. Like, I need to get that buy box or get that price up. So I'm going to be watching my prices. I will go out to the stores and kind of sweep up the leftovers. That I don't mind doing. Excuse me, I'll probably spend some time on Black Friday actually looking online, seeing what the ads are that are available, but I'm not going out. I'll go out in the afternoon. I'll take the scraps. I don't mind taking the scraps. I'll get the little bit of stuff. I'm also going to hit the things that I already know I want anyway. They're not necessarily Black Friday deals. Now, I've got a lot of that stuff already, but I'll go pick up more of it because there's just a ton of it available. Harvey, can you hear me?
Dwayne, what's up, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. I see you got your little shopping buddy with you.
Yeah, I got my new friend. My inventory cuteness factor was lacking, I was told. So I
Yeah,
got me a little Cabbage Patch shopping buddy here
yeah, that was a good job. That was
from the Rainforest collection.
sweet. Yeah, KIB is definitely the queen of cute inventory. There's just no doubt.
Cuteness
So,
factor. That's right.
yeah, I tried to do the cute thing, and she shot it down. She's like, "That's not cute." It's like, all right, what? I'm just gonna go sell this crap. You do cute, but no, man, I like the dolls. You mind giving everybody your Black Friday plan?
um, I've been told I'm not allowed to do anything for the next 2.5 days.
Okay, so this is a wife enforced downtime. Is that?
Yeah, I think so. The whole truck is full from today, so I think that my brother's going to drive the truck to my parents, and we're going to ship it from there on Friday so that we can both be home for 2.5 days.
Awesome.
So I'll probably just catch up on like 800 listings I haven't even priced. Maybe buy some OA. And then there's a couple things I want on Friday, and I have some people that can go get them for me. But no way am I going warrior style. And the reason is like I want to get things in quantity if I get them. And a lot of the things on Black Friday, even the ones where you get the best price, you can't buy it in large quantities, and that's really what I'm looking to do right now. So, if it fits your business model or someone else's, great. But I feel like the sales have been just as good in the last 10 days with no crowd, lots of inventory available, and no limits. And I have destroyed the last 10 days as far as buying and shipping. So I'm ahead of where I want to be right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, and yeah, don't mistake I'm not going out on Black Friday for I'm not working on Black Friday. I think everybody's going to be working. I mean, they're
absolutely.
UPS called me and they said, "Are you going to want your pickup on the Friday after Thanksgiving?" I was like, yeah, you betcha. Please have a truck here as late as possible would be nice, but yeah,
right.
Bring a truck. I'll have boxes. Don't worry. So yeah, and I think pricing. To me, pricing is more important on Black Friday than trying to go out and fight the crowds. And I don't enjoy it. I do not. You're right about the look at that. I'm talking with my hands. I just hit my 10,000 steps. I don't enjoy standing in line to check out. It took me 20 minutes, and I had first time I ever got limited at Target happened today. I was livid. The place is full of gold, and I had it all sitting in my cart. Yeah, and I get up to the counter, and I was nice because I know this Target, and I've dealt with them before, and they're like, you can, we don't. They told me straight up, at least back then, we don't have anything against resellers. We welcome you guys, your customers too, but please just don't take everything. I said, no problem. So I didn't. I left one of this and one of that. I left one of everything I bought behind because I was like, hey, I'm playing by their rules. Till I get to the counter and the manager's like, oh no, limit two per product. That's it. I was like, I left some on the shelf back there. I didn't take all of it. She's like, no, two of each thing. I was like, fine. So I got a cart of like my discards, and I got my couple of carts of stuff, and I only had about an hour to shop. I filled up 3 carts in an hour. I mean, it was insane. If I actually had time to shop today, I'm not surprised you filled up the war machine. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, you make a good point about you don't mind going out and picking up the scraps on Black Friday. I think that's important because they've moved so much stuff into Thanksgiving Day now, which is tomorrow, that there's not like the big rush at 5 in the morning on Friday anymore.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit more spread out than they used to be. And I find like after the noon hour on Friday, there's really not that many people in the stores. There's a bunch of exhausted employees looking at a complete catastrophe, and pretty much anything you ask for, they'll do. Like, hey, you're out of this. Will you price this the same? Sure, why not? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said last year.
Also, I would, if you're really planning on doing stuff, I would buy as much as you can tomorrow if you're able, and Black Friday morning, and try to ship it by Black Friday, because I'm not having the same thing with the warehouses as you. My stuff's going live in 24 to 36 hours. Now, a lot of that might be because I'm commingled, so when they scan it in, it's live. That's a big change for me this year for that reason.
Yeah.
So you should be able to buy it. If you buy Black Friday, really try to ship it by Black Friday that night, and make it live for Monday. I think that's the key if you're going to do it. Do it that way.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm not. There's just no way. I mean, for me, I will pick up the scraps. They may go out Friday. They may not go out till Monday. Even if they go out Friday, they're not going to be checked in. It's just not going to happen. They won't be live.
Right now, I have my brother and I pretty much are splitting shipping. I'm shipping all my stuff to CVG. He's shipping all his stuff to AVP, just to kind of split our risk in case one of them gets backed up. And so far, they've both been 24 to 36 hours. I mean, I've always had a geographical advantage.
Yes, you do.
For sure, which, has been taken away because CVG's been 7 to 10 days, but they got it together over there. I'm not sure how or what they did, but in my opinion, it's rolling.
I'll watch the shipment that went out Monday, which was delivered today. That's normal. 2 days to delivery is perfect to CVG. What has been happening is it would take another 4 to 5 days to be live, and so I'll see what happens.
Are you commingled, Dwayne?
Not on most things, no, because I have my.
I mean, there's pros and cons for sure.
Yeah, I have my packers doing the listing and the packing and the shipping and all that, and I guess I thought it'd be easier if it was just all stickered versus, yes, this can be commingled. No, that can't.
Right. Because a lot of commingled stuff has to be stickered still.
Yeah.
As weird as that may sound, it does.
Yeah, yeah. So just to simplify everything, I
understand.
But maybe that hurts me in the long run. I don't know.
It hurt me last year, and so I made a decision this year to do it.
Yeah, that's interesting, and it's a good point. But the other thing that kind of scares me, and we've talked about pie face now. You see the Chinese sellers coming in. That scares me to death because that tells me counterfeits are coming on the market. I don't know that for a fact, but man,
that's true, and it's horrifying. But even if they send them to, even if they commingle them, they can still sort out who sent in what inventory. They still sticker it. They know who it came from.
That's what
the issue is. The issue is though, if it's counterfeit, like let's say they shut you down for 3 or 4 weeks because somebody received a counterfeit from you, and you're proven innocent. Well, that doesn't mean anything because you just lost out on the 3 weeks you wait the whole year for. So
yeah,
there's certainly risk. I think when 3 or 4 of us in our group got back returns in February last year, and we were like, what the hell is this? We never sent this in. That's when we all were kind of like, well, if they're going to commingle our stuff anyway and return us stuff we never sent in, then we might as well take the perks of being commingled, which is geographical, check-in time, and shipping and prep time.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely on all counts. and you get more buy box sales, I believe. I have no way to prove that, but I have to believe when your inventory is everywhere that you will get more buy box time than if your stuff's sitting East Coast and West Coast people are trying to order it. So.
Oh, that's absolutely true. As soon as they scan my stuff in, I'm available to ship out of CVG, AVP, the Florida warehouses, Phoenix, California. Whereas if you're not, you're not.
Yeah, I will have to think about that because I do commingle, quite a bit of stuff, especially if I'm the one doing the packing and shipping. I mean, I'll commingle something in a heartbeat, but I have to give that more serious consideration for next year. I kind of screwed that up this year, I guess. But all right, so that's your Black Friday plan. Was Cyber Monday your biggest day last year? It was for me by far. Was
No, I think December 15th was my biggest day.
Okay.
That being said, if I would have been priced how I should have been, Cyber Monday would have been my biggest day.
Okay.
Um,
Because you
I
held
had
prices high, right? Last year.
Yeah, I probably had 40% of my stuff priced not to sell on Cyber Monday, which was stupid. I will not do that again. Prices peaked on Cyber Monday last year, which doesn't make sense to me, but if you try to make sense of why people buy what they do for what price, you shouldn't be in this business. All you got to do is scan and look at the stats and the decisions made for you. So there's no reason to try to speculate unless it's just something with only upside.
So Jason asked, how should you have priced? So are you saying you should have been in the buy box on Cyber Monday on everything?
I should have been more I would have been competitive on everything. Except, I mean, there's always exceptions. But I should have been competitive on everything. And I would say 30 to 40% of my inventory was not competitive on Cyber Monday.
All right. Interesting. I honestly have not made up my mind exactly how, because toys are the big thing that I'm holding high because I just have no idea where they're going to land. And I haven't made up my mind whether or not I'm going to just lower all those prices to be competitive on Cyber Monday, if I'm going to hold out prices. Like the toy that I sold today for $66 that I wish I would have held out for $99. How it is so hard to get a read on which ones, what's going to peak on Cyber Monday and what's going to peak on December 15th.
There's no way to know. So
yeah, my crystal ball's broken,
If you can take your money and take your profit, take it and reinvest it, But the other thing I mentioned in one of the groups today is everybody, including me, and I made this big mistake last year, is everybody thinks of Black Friday as what can I buy? Because everybody's going to the store.
Mm-hmm.
I was astonished last week. Black Friday was approaching Cyber Monday as far as my Amazon sales. So don't sleep on making sure you're ready price-wise and, quarterbacking your inventory and everything wise on Friday, because they will be buying it. People are not just looking for deals. People are looking to buy stuff and be done, which means they will pay premium price on Amazon.
Yep, I agree with you. And I kept thinking that Black Friday was my big day last year, but it turned out to be Cyber Monday when I look back at everything. But both days were good. And actually, let me bring up my numbers. We can look at some of this stuff if anybody cares, and of course we can look over the monthly numbers and all that good stuff. But just to give you some kind of reference for anyone who maybe has not been through a Black Friday, Cyber Monday type thing. Let's see. Share the screen. All right, can everybody see my screen? Hopefully you see my dashboard with my one unshipped order that just came through. What a bonehead. All right. So 7-day we're 17,000, 15-day 31,000, 30-day 55,000. Honestly, well below where I thought I'd be. but that's because I refuse to sell at the prices that I'm seeing right now. I'm just holding out high, and still, getting it. That's about a quarter of the way through the payout and disbursement cycle, and we're at almost $8,000. So we're going to have a nice size check coming in because our payment just came. Our disbursement was on Friday, and it hit the bank on Monday. So we're going to be like the week after Cyber Monday is when I'll have money again. But all right, reports, business reports. Today's 1,700. I mean, last year I would have been thrilled with these numbers, and this year it's just nah. I mean, these are October numbers. Not all that excited by them. Yesterday was 2,400. Same day last week was 4,700. That's when I unleashed about, I don't know, whatever the 78. You do the math on it, but the 78 times $30 a piece pie faces, played a huge part in that day. Otherwise, it would have been pretty much the same thing, about a $2,000 day or so. But anyway, so we're 16, almost 1,700 on the day. I guess that's all right. I don't know. It's not where I expected it to be. I thought we were going to do 100,000 this month, and we're not even going to be close. We're not even at 50. So, I expect somewhere around a $10,000 day on Cyber Monday, and I think that still falls within November. But whatever. At this point, it's look at the big picture, look at the end game. I don't care what the sales are in November. I really don't care what the sales are in December. I care what the sales are in the money in the bank on January 1st. That's the big one. How much money is sitting in my bank account on January 1st? But that's where our sales are month to date. You see, we're actually trailing last month, I believe. But let's do our custom year to date and see where we stand in comparison to last year. Same time frame. So we're at 399, 490, a hair shy of 400,000. Jeez, would have been nice to hit 400,000, just on the show tonight, but that is not going to happen. We're not going to sell $510 worth of stuff in the next 23 minutes. All right, and how much overpriced inventory you're stuck with? What, Mindy? What do you? Sorry, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. How much overpriced inventory? Oh, okay. You're saying on January 1st, how concerned am I? Yeah, I got you now. Yeah, on January 1st, I do not want to be stuck with a bunch of overpriced inventory. I differ a little bit with Michael Flanagan on this. Yes, sales are strong in January. No doubt about it. That we agree on. I will do a lot of dumping in December, though, because anything that is over retail toys, I'm not big on holding into January. There are some things that maybe will have some legs. Some of the like accessory kits where the kids are getting the big present, but then it has these accessories that go along with it. Those might have some legs in January over retail, but that is not going to be a big part of my business. I will get rid of the over retail stuff by and large in December. I am not going to try to sell those in January. Now, wholesale stuff, yes, I will sell the wholesale in January, no problem. So looking at this is quite interesting to me. So right now we're at almost 400,000 for the year. Same exact dates last year, we were at 137,000. So we are a good almost 3 times where we were last year. So that's a nice bump. But let's look at some of these dates. All right, if you guys want to. I don't know. Mindy says his best day last year was December 14th. I know there are other ways to do it, but I don't want to accidentally show you guys stuff I don't intend to. So I'm going to step through some of this and look at a couple of the big days that I know from last year. So right here was Black Friday last year. That was, right? That must have been Black Friday. No, was it the 21st or the 28th? Anyone know? Yeah, it was the 28th. I know it was. Okay, so we did 2,400. Now, to give you guys some kind of reference, we were doing at that time about $500 to $1,000 a day. So suddenly we get to a, a a day like Black Friday and we jump up to 2,400. Let's see what we did on the 27th. Let's kind of look at, well, that would have been Thanksgiving. Let's look at essentially this same day last year. See if we have some kind of comparison. 1,600. And today we're at 1,700. So we're running the same as what we did the day before Thanksgiving last year. Let's see how Thanksgiving looked last year. That was probably awful. I have no idea though. 1,300. So we had a dip. So we had 1,300 on Thanksgiving, up to 2,400 on Black Friday. Let's take a look at that Saturday. If I'm boring you guys too much, I apologize. Okay, there's Black Friday at 2,400, almost 25. And that Saturday, 2,200. Sunday, after Thanksgiving, 1,300. That was not a good day. And then the big day. And then the day that made me go, oh my God, this is the greatest business ever, was on Cyber Monday. And maybe it would help if I got the right month. That was not a $38,000 day. As much as I wish it was a $6,200 day. All right. So normally $500 was our norm. $1,000 was a really good day. $2,000 was a great day. And then we hit 6,000 on Cyber Monday. Okay.
Dwayne, by the way, if you pull up a graph, if you do the range from beginning of November or mid-November through the end of December,
yeah,
you can hover your mouse over the right-hand graph, and you can see each day's over there.
Okay. So, all right. So as we kind of scroll along, is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Let's okay. So let's pull up November 1st to December 1st of last year. Very cool. There we go. That's the kind of thing I wanted. I just didn't know how to show it. I appreciate that, Mindy.
Sure, anytime.
So yeah, here we are early November running those $400, $200, $300 days, $500, $600. Oh, peaked at 900 on November 10th, but then back down to some of those 400 and 500. So that's what I was trying to, thanks, Mindy. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to show you guys. So we're running these $400 and $500 days for the most part. Now, what happened here on the 17th? That's when our advent calendars last year kicked into overdrive. Raphael asked a great question that I do not know how to answer. He said, how many units did you have in stock last year? I don't know. I have no clue. I think the most I had at any point last year was about 2,000 units. So probably around that time frame, it would have been in that 2,000 range. I mean, it would have been pretty well stocked. But yeah, now this year, I think we're at 6,500 units in stock right now. But yeah, so November 17th, that's when advent calendars kicked in. That's when I started to price match for some of the toys. And I sold too early, honestly. So these $2,000 days in 2,500, those were exciting. But in hindsight, I think I was losing money. That's why I'm priced so much higher. And my sales are actually comparatively down over last year. Yeah, I do November last year. Yeah, I do last year's November numbers on a regular day now. That is true. The business has changed quite a bit. But yeah, so we started seeing those $1,600 days, but then you see the big spike. That's Black Friday on the 28th, a little bit of a dip, but then December 1st. And let's go through December, so you guys know a little bit what to expect, at least from my experience last year. Now there's November, December, all last year. Okay. So here's December 1st, big spike, nice $6,200 day, followed by a $2,200 day. That's kind of a big downside. 3,000, 2,600, 2,800, right in that 2,500 range, spiked over 3,000 on the 8th. Still running 3,000 on the 10th. So mid-December is looking strong. December 12th, 2,500. So still in that, that solid Black Friday kind of range, 2,500. Again, over 3,000 mid-December. The 13th was very good. Little down on the 14th. 15th, over 3,000 again, 2,600. And I'll tell you what happened right here. It shows a $3,700 day on December 18th. I'll guarantee you I started dumping at that point. No doubt in my mind. And then the 19th, pretty much out of stock, 2,000, 2,800. I mean, this is all sell-off time for me. December 21st, 22nd, and get ready for this, guys, because after the 22nd, boom, it just dies. $600. On the 22nd, we did 2,700, 2,800. The 23rd, we do 600. Okay. 24th, $138. Christmas Eve was absolutely horrible. Christmas Day, even worse, $120. 26th, 27th, 28th, all those sub 200. I got rid of my inventory. I had nothing left. A little bit of a spike on the 29th up to almost $1,000. But I think that's fairly normal. Now, if anybody else wants to show what they did during that time, that's great, or whatever. But that is, you see my graph, and that's exactly what I expect to see this year, with a little bit higher sales marks, but that same sort of everything's good through mid-December, and then the 20th is about the end of it. And by the 23rd, you're done. That was my experience last year anyway. I don't know why that would be any different this year. So hopefully that gives you guys some insights. Matt Kelly says he has 25,500 units in stock and has not looked. It hasn't looked in forever. Leron says he has around 8,000 units in stock, which is crazy because this is his first Q4, so he's coming out of the gate strong. And wow, that's impressive, man. So here's something I want to bring up. Let's get back to the 15th. And 2015, November 1st. So this month, November 1st to November 25th. Grocery is our number one item, both in sales and both in units sold and total sales. Toys is number two. Again, I'm holding toys really high. And number three, home appliances. I'll tell you right now, I like home stuff. You know, I'm just kind of, they get you away from the toys and get you away from the crowds a little bit. Health and personal care is nice. You know, people still buying toothpaste in November, just like they buy it in January, just like they buy it in August. Clothing sales have been decent. I'm happy with those. I think those will be better in December as well. I have a lot of clothing items that should be more Christmas specific, but where are shoes? I stopped buying shoes. I was big on shoes for a long time, and I just got away from them because I was buying kids shoes, and the returns on kids shoes would kill you. So, you know, if you're buying $10 shoes and selling them for $20, it's going to kill you. If you're buying $10 shoes and selling them for $30, that's good. If you're buying $20 shoes and selling them for $60, that's awesome. If you're selling or buying for $60 and selling for $120, $180, that's great. And yeah, Mindy, so you're getting $50 for $150. That's awesome. That's where you need to be, in my opinion, if you're going to do shoes, because otherwise the returns will crush you. Our returns run about 14% on shoes. So it just got to the point where my fast turn model and the kind of margins that I normally work on in other categories do not work well for the type shoes that I was buying. Okay. So if you're buying for 10, I will buy a household sponge. Okay. A pack of sponges for $10 and sell them for 20 and make $4 all day long. I don't care because you're not getting returns on sponges. People say, I want a sponge. They buy a sponge. They sell a sponge. They're happy. They buy a $10 pair of shoes. or you sell a $10 pair of shoes for 20 and you make $4, and they put it on their kid and it doesn't fit and they return it to you, then either it's going to come back to you and you can process it and you can ship it back in, or Amazon's going to repackage it and charge you about $5 to put it back in inventory. That stinks. Okay. So I am not saying by any means that shoes are bad. I love shoes when they're done correctly. I just have not taken the time to do them correctly. All right. So understand, if you're getting into shoes, you have to have much bigger margins than you do on household items. That's my experience. That's what I learned from this year. Okay. The other thing is, it's going to be capital intensive. I see shoes as something where if you're going to be successful at it, you're going to buy lots of sizes, lots of colors. You're going to be spread across vast variations. And that's going to take a lot of capital to make sure you're in, because you don't know when somebody's going to be shopping for a black size 13 or a black size 9 or a red size 3. I mean, it's just, who knows? So you have to carry a lot of inventory if you're going to cover all that. That's where I see it. So that's why I kind of got away from shoes, because I was finding more success with other things. Not that I don't like shoes. It's just, it's not something that's conducive to my natural business model. But you see, shoes this month has been $1,100, and I will guarantee you that $1,100 revenue was leftovers that I bought earlier in the spring and summer, because Leron actually shot me a couple of flips on shoes. So I did sell a couple, but they were, again, higher margin type stuff. Yeah. And he says those were good. Yes, those were good. Those had the kind of margins that you need to play with. So I've sold a handful, but not a lot. Yeah, there we go. 39 pairs of shoes. That is not a lot of shoes. Anyway, that compared to 583 grocery. I'm very comfortable in grocery. I know grocery. I know I don't get a lot of returns in grocery. When people buy a lollipop, they go, "Hey, it's a lollipop. I like a lollipop." They get it home and they eat it. See, and they're happy. When they get that shoe and it doesn't fit, they're not very happy. So I go with what I know. And toys, oh my God, toys are just there. John Stevenson says, expiration dates, ugh. Anyway, finish my thought. Toys are there. I'm just holding them higher. But I could sell a slew of toys right now, just no problem. I just make micro margins on it, and I don't feel like doing that. Expiration dates. See, John, that is not a problem for me, because, again, the whole fast turn thing comes very natural to me. That is not something I have to work at. It's not something I have to contrive. So it's very easy for me to buy grocery knowing I'm going to sell it long before it expires, because I'm either not going to go very deep in it, or I'm going to go deep and it has a long shelf life, or I'm going to go deep and it has a long shelf life and it sells extremely quickly. Whatever. I get very little expired food back ever. So that to me is not an issue. Knowing which size shoe people want, that's a problem for me. I don't get it. But it's a good point. Grocery does have a lot of expiration. I'll probably get some back because I did some testing for Halloween that did not all go so well. So I may get some of that back, but so be it. It happens. Pet supplies kind of surprises me. I did not realize I sold 67 units in pet supplies. Holy cow. I think I need to get some more. But anyway, that's how our month is broken down so far. Buying grocery OA, the seller sends short-dated products. Yeah, I would not OA. Let me make that very clear. I would not OA grocery. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. No way would I OA. I would either buy from the manufacturer, so you're buying wholesale, or I would buy RA where I can look at the dates for myself. There's no way I'm going to buy grocery OA. It just, man. The only time I've done that is something that had like huge long shelf life, and it wasn't OA like to my house. It was OA to the store where when it got to the store, I could look at it and go, yeah, these dates are good. I'm happy. Otherwise, I would have just left it there and said, no, I need a refund. Yeah, and I know you're UK based. So I understand that does not work for you. But again, that's where grocery works very well for me. And it works well in my business model. It just fits what I do. But yes, I understand we're all in very different situations. Matt Kelly says, Mindy, 46,641 for the year in grocery, ? So is that, I guess there was a side conversation taking place. Mindy says 738 this month, 46,641. Okay, so Mindy, are you saying you've sold 46,000 this month or this year in grocery? While he's answering that, I'm going to look. Let's see. We did 11,000. Okay. Oh, that's shoes. Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You did 738 for 46,000 in shoes. Okay. I'm with you. Gotcha. Let's see. Just on the year. Let's take a look at that. Hopefully I haven't timed out by sitting here just running my mouth too much. I am kind of curious on the year where I am. Oh, I did. Okay. Hang on. I got to refresh my screen. Excuse me. Oh, no, there we go. All right. Going back to the screen share. Okay. So, yeah, on the year, toys is still number one at 88,000, but we've sold 74,000 in grocery this year. That's not too bad, and toys being this year. I mean, toys they just sell. If you hit those pockets, they will sell all year long. Grocery for me, again, there's a lot of seasonal opportunities. I have the wholesale accounts. There are just things that work for me in grocery. Health and personal care. I've sold everything. You guys have seen this before. There's not much that I haven't sold in this year. Even baby, even sold those 40 baby, 26 watches. There's a little bit of stuff here and there. But by and large, we are toy and grocery sellers and doing more and more with the home and health and personal care. All right. Any other questions on this? We are right up against 9 o'clock. Okay. So, excuse me. I guess some of the takeaways that I wanted to get across is, yes, we are on the when is toy dump day? That depends on you. As I just showed you, you're going to have a huge decline in sales on the 23rd, 24th. So if you're going to dump, me personally, I'm going to be looking at the 15th to the 20th. I'm going to pick my spots. I'm going to pick my products, but that will be kind of my dump time. Those will be or if I see the price declining, because right now you should see the prices going up on most things. Now there will be fluctuation, but overall you should see an incline in prices. So if you see, suddenly things are starting to decline, that's because everybody's starting to dump. You're either going to have to hold out high and just hope that they get rid of their product and finally you get your price, or you join the race and get rid of your products too. I mean, that's totally up to you. So some of the takeaways, first and foremost, family first. Make tomorrow about family. Friday, get back to work. And Friday does not have to be throwing elbows on Black Friday sales, but it can be. And if you are well prepared for it, it could work out awesome. But don't feel like you have to join that fray if you don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I'm not playing the game. There are other ways to make money on Black Friday. Repricing will make you money on Black Friday. Picking up scraps at the store, because while you're picking up scraps, you're going to see what's left behind. If you go into 3 Walmarts and that Black Friday product was not bought hardly at all in any of them, you write that little sucker off. I mean, you don't want those. But there may be that surprise product that you're like, man, I didn't see that coming. But every store I go into, it's wiped out. You're going to get some telltale signs, I think, that they just kind of help you through the rest of the season. Keep shipping. Do not let your foot off the gas yet. I'm going to ship right up until probably, for me, about the 12th. I'm going to ship hard. The 12th gives me a land time. If we stick by the week that it's taking to get in place, if I ship on the 12th, it should be in place somewhere around the 18th. That's a Friday. The latest would be the 21st. Well, I'm sorry, the 12th is a Saturday. So I'm looking at the 11th is probably about my cutoff for shipping. When would you start buying toys again in 2016? I sell toys all year long. I just become very strategic about what I'm buying. Like right now, you can buy almost anything and you're going to make some kind of money on it. Harvey says he will ship hard until the 18th. See, and a lot of that depends on where you are and what your receive times are looking like. And I'm going to keep a close eye on that and see if I can maybe get away with pushing it a few more days. But right now I'm looking at the 11th. When do you buy again? You buy again when you get discounts and deals and you stack coupons. That's how I buy most of my toys throughout the year, is by finding, it's not the over retail sales. I do some of that, but it's not much. Most of it is going to be, I found a great deal. I used the Kohl's cash, or I used discounted gift cards, or that kind of stuff where you're driving down your cost. That's when toys can be, like right now, Target's got 20% off all toys. It is hard not to make money at 20% off. This time of year, it's almost impossible not to make money. But any time of year, if you can get 20% off, that's pretty solid. It doesn't take too much maneuvering, cashback site or whatever, and suddenly you can start to build in some pretty hefty margins. Are you going to make it rain on the next show? I don't even know what that means. I mean, we'll see. When's the next show? Wednesday. Well, let's see. What do I see for next Wednesday? I see a $10,000 Cyber Monday. I see definitely over 400,000 and probably around 400. Man, will we do 25,000 this week? We probably should, especially with Cyber Monday, Black Friday. That should be a couple of 15 combined. Those should be about 15,000. So yeah, we ought to be up to 425,000. So yeah, we'll see. So we'll see what happens. I will be here next week just to kind of give you guys my latest updates on what's going on and get your feedback. Yeah, Harvey said it rained yesterday. It freaking monsooned on Harvey yesterday. That was ridiculous. Well, I had a great start to the day. It was like 1,300 by lunchtime. I was all excited for, at least a $3,000 day. We ended up at 2,500. I don't know what in the world happened. Harvey went into a whole nother stratosphere. It was insane. So, Mindy says, I find time off for shows like this is needed downtime during the season. Yeah, if you need to rest, take a rest. Just don't rest too much. Get back out there. So,
Dwayne, I was thinking of you yesterday.
Yeah.
I found a credit card deal that I think you could go for.
Okay.
I'm being serious over here. So basically, you saw that stack of cards I was holding earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, I bought $8,400 of $200 Visa gift cards last night. Okay. Okay. The reason for that is Office Max got a deal right now that if all multiples of gift cards and Visa or MasterCard, for every $300, $20 instant rebate. Mm-hmm. Now, there's fees involved. The best deal is if you pay in cash. Well, I pay with credit card because I'm getting my cash back on the credit card. But for you can buy up to a $500 gift card, which is just a $6.95 fee. You got to pay in cash.
Okay.
But you basically end up getting just over 5%, 5.27% discount. So that $100 for every $100, you're only paying under $95.
I like that.
This week only. So,
okay.
Did I tell you I got a credit card deal that you could go for?
Well, that's more of a gift card deal, but yeah,
It says Visa on it, man. Just saying.
Well, my debit card says Visa too, but I run it as a credit card all the time.
It actually does say Visa debit card on it, by the way.
Yeah. See? But no, I can live with that. And, the 4 times gas points at Kroger to buy gift cards and all that kind of stuff, I'm fine with that.
I have one added benefit, by the way. I won't have to call Capital One fraud protection on Black Friday now.
There you go. Yeah, I do have to do that quite a bit.
Anyways, great show, Dwayne.
Appreciate it, man. My voice is giving out on me now. But, yeah, appreciate it, Mindy. Thanks for being on. I was going to try to bring you on earlier. I was talking to you.
I was just thinking about that credit card deal. I was thinking about you the entire time. I was like, I got to share that with Dwayne.
No, that's a good deal. Yeah, if you can buy money and get a discount on it, which is essentially what you're doing, I got no problem with that.
And that was my second round. I bought $4,200 the first time, and I used it within a day. I'm spending this money either way this week, so may as well get that extra. If you're doing it with a credit card, you can only get the $200 cards, and then it comes out to like 3.19%. But
Okay.
That's still extra money on top of my 2% for using my Capital One card. So what the heck?
Definitely.
So, if anybody wants to go to Office Max, there's officially a limit of 2 per person. But I rung up 40. My biggest transaction was like 4,800.
Nice.
So, good luck, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, and have a great Black Friday. Oh, by the way, one other thing, Dwayne, is the best time I found being in the stores all night last year. If you want quiet, you don't want to shuffle your way around. If you go between 1 and 5 in the morning, you should be nice and it should be pretty tame by then.
Yeah, I don't want to be awake at 1 to 5 in the morning. That's where the personal preference part of this business comes in.
Dwayne, I will start sourcing tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take a little downtime in the afternoon, and then I'll be back at the stores from about, what do they start opening, like 5? I probably will skip the first hour, but from 6 p.m. until like 3 a.m. I'm going to be out in stores, and then we'll be prepping 6 a.m. We got our prep guy coming in, and we'll be prepping, and I told my U-Haul guy to expect at least 100 boxes from us. He's sending an empty truck for us.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you got a plan. I give you my respects for that. I'm not doing it.
You know what, though? By the way, I got to say, Dwayne, if I always say I would give mad props. First of all, I got to give mad props to REI for being closed Black Friday. I mean,
that's interesting, but yeah.
You know what? Listen, we all love Black Friday. But the fact is, think about those retail employees who got to come in on Thanksgiving Day at 4 o'clock to get ready to open, or 3 o'clock to get ready, for the store opening. You know what? Thanksgiving is the one holiday of the year that is, that's really a universal holiday. There's no religion involved. Let everyone celebrate it with their families is the way I think. I happen to think that the retailer that would put the following in place, I would give bad props to, and that would be make Black Friday a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And be close Thanksgiving. Now, nobody's going to have the balls to do it, but I'll tell you what, if they did it, I think they would get the same sales the week before, and then they would get. I think they would end up coming out ahead, because in effect, what you end up doing is you lengthen that holiday shipping season, that holiday shopping season, which officially kicks off Black Friday, although we know it starts earlier.
Yeah,
but that Black
we're almost
Friday
a week ahead
deal,
anyway.
No, I know that. But you'll still have that effect, but you'll have the Black Friday. Because, look, we did crazy volume this past week, me and you, right? Okay.
Yeah, I did okay.
I did great.
Okay.
And that is the early, prior to Black Friday, the early Christmas shopping. However, the Black Friday does an extra kick. Just the fact that it's Black Friday makes my sales next week until Christmas are going to be even more. Now, if you get that added tick a week before by making Black Friday start a week before, you got a full extra week, and that earlier shopping will kind of be moved almost into a week before that.
Yeah, but the whole Black Friday thing is ingrained in the culture. It's that simple. It's not just the sales. You could run the same sales a week before. You're not going to have the same effect.
Take a look. There was a great graphic. Hold on.
Mindy, I'm getting off here. I am
Hold
shutting you
on.
off.
Let me make one point.
It's 10 after 9. I'm beat. I'm not discussing Black Friday.
Dwayne.
All right, man.
You have a good night.
All right. I am not here to argue Black Friday. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm done. I'm getting off here. You guys have a good night. Have a happy Thanksgiving. go bust your butts on Friday. And guys, you know, this is it. Hopefully you're all making lots of money. Make wise decisions. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows when the best time to sell is. Nobody knows when the best time to dump is. Nobody knows when to raise prices, all that kind of stuff. Use your best judgment. Use what you see in my numbers from this year, or excuse me, from last year to kind of project your year. Look back if you've sold last year at this time. Look back at your own numbers to kind of understand what the trends are and price accordingly. Use the data that we have available to try to make the best decisions possible. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to hit some home runs. It's all going to be, it'll all come out in the end. Hopefully everyone does well. We'll be back here next week. We'll kind of check in, see how everything's going. And until then, again, happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy Cyber Monday. Let's just blow it out of the water, guys. Oh my God. The biggest day of the year is coming, or at least my biggest day last year is coming. I'm excited. Let's kill it. Guys, have a good night. We'll see you next week.